Exxon makes 20th oil discovery. Lowenfield to face additional charges. And Education Ministry is missing the opportunity to make our nation smart. I am Noriko Bulford, and welcome to tonight's edition of Uncut News. Before we begin, do you have something important you want to leak without revealing your identity? Send us a tip on WhatsApp at 592-659-6151. Today, Exxon announced that it made its 20th oil discovery. This well was located at Longtail 3 in the Stabroek Block. The well is located approximately 2 miles south of the Longtail 1 well. As Exxon advances its 15-well drilling campaign in the Stabroek Block for this year, one drill ship is preparing to move to Whiptail 1, while a second one supports the development drilling for Liza Phase 2, which is expected to come on stream next year. I'll be happier when these new discoveries translate to tangible benefits for all Guyanese, just saying. Speaking of tangible benefits, the Natural Resources Ministry has reaffirmed that the government will not touch the Natural Resources Fund until it has been reconfigured to ensure transparency. This includes the implementation of various oversight measures, because apparently the ones that are there now aren't good enough, allegedly. As of March 2021, the Natural Resources Fund had over $260 million, which is approximately 53 billion Guyana dollars. Additionally, the ministry is considering the establishment of a public database of persons with investments in the local oil industry, which I will applaud when the government actually makes good on that promise. Jagdeo announced on Monday that the government has some major plans for the Shuttered and More Sugar estate. Instead of focusing on sugar alone, he wants to turn it into a large-scale industrial complex to become an employment hub for the east coast of Demerara. And by large-scale industry, he means further refining and packaging of sugar into individual bags for the international market instead of, well, whatever stupidness we do now with the sugar. While the announcement was welcomed by some, others such as myself believe the idea just sounds like another way to mismanage the $7 billion allocated to Kaisuko over the past 10 months. The GPF is expected to slap Lowenfield with 2 additional charges of conspiracy to defraud for his role in the big rig of 2020. Lowenfield is currently facing 3 counts of forgery and 3 counts of misconduct in public office. He is currently out on $300,000 bail and is expected back in court June 29th. Now it's time to tell you about Best Buy's car of the day. Currently on sale is this 2009 Toyota Oxio. It comes with mug rims, new tires, DVD stereo, reverse camera, and much more. Buy cash for $2.7 million, or pay down as low as $540,000 down with around $61,000 monthly for 4 years, and it's yours. Call or WhatsApp 662-0844 for more info, or visit their showrooms at Lot 171 Peterborough Street, Queenstown, or Lot 2 Lamar Street, and tell them Noriko sent you for this sweet deal. On Tuesday afternoon, 12-year-old Varshni Ramrup died after she was struck down by a pickup truck while she was crossing the road at Farm, East Bank, Essequibo. The child was reportedly on her way home with her cousin when the accident occurred. Police said the driver of the pickup was served a notice of intended prosecution. This morning, a fire of unknown origin gutted the Good Life supermarket at Baggetville on the west bank of Demerara. The fire originated in the upper flat of the building that was being rented by a couple who operates the store. They sustained minor injuries while escaping the blaze. An investigation is ongoing. Last Monday, 20-year-old Shamar Drakes was fatally stabbed by his drinking buddy during a drunken argument at Suwanda Bakdam, Upper Peruni River. The minor ran to a nearby shop for help, but by then it was too late. Shortly after, he collapsed and died. The suspect is still on the run. Are you a truck owner that is losing money due to downtime while you wait for your parts to be imported? Now that is just stupid. Truck parts are already in Guyana at Powered Automotive Truck Spares and Engine Parts. They stock spares for DAF, Bedford TM, International Freightliners, and Cummins engines. Check them out at 1161 EE Eccles or WhatsApp them on 697-0171. Tell them Noriko sent you and get a discount. It's now time for today's Runner Report. Today, the nation recorded 134 new cases. There are now 417 persons dead, 20 persons in the ICU, and 1,566 persons in home isolation. The total number of confirmed cases around the nation now stands at 17,939. So please, people, wash your hands frequently. Avoid touching your nose and mouth and mask up before you leave the house. When you do leave home, try to avoid enclosed spaces and large crowds. And remember to give 6 feet of space between you and others. Yesterday morning, 22-year-old prison data entry clerk Joshua Sukdio was busted trying to smuggle weed into the Lusignan prison. In his haversack, prison officers came upon an ensure bottle. It was examined and was found to be stuffed with over 80 grams of Selasii's best. Sukdio is currently in police custody. But the only thing I wonder is whether or not that bottle of ganja was insured. Ha-ha! Do you want to grow your money? Sell Digicel Top-Up. Become a top-up vendor through Cellular Plus and make some extra cash to supplement your income at your business or your side hustle. Call 685-3109 for more info. The police are currently investigating the death of 77-year-old attorney-at-law Hubert Nathaniel Rodney, the brother of the late great Dr. Walter Rodney. His body was found on the kitchen floor in his home at Durbonna Square in Georgetown. He was last seen alive on June 4th when he was taking out the trash. He presumably lived alone, as his body was only discovered yesterday. There were no visible marks of violence. And now for our stupid news of the day. When nation after nation began to lock down in hopes of fighting the Rona, it became obvious to many governments that this pandemic was going to last more than just a few weeks. But while most were thinking of health and business, some governments also began to turn their focus on the future. And who are the future? Well, children are the future, of course. Rest in peace, Whitney Houston. So, seeing the need to prepare their youths for a post-pandemic tech-based world, months ago, Jamaica and Curacao signed deals with Microsoft to digitize their current education curriculum and put tablets and laptops into the hands of students. Over in Finland, they are introducing a curriculum that focuses on team building, problem solving, and critical thinking skills, and less on grades. And in Canada, they're upgrading the grade 9 math curriculum to include topics I wish I learned in school, such as debt, interest, budgeting, and everyday finance. While over in Trinidad, they are ready to completely scrap the Queen's education system altogether. They've already begun a national consultation on reforming the education curriculum. While in Guyana, we are seemingly not changing a thing except putting enough soap in the washrooms and getting rid of the grade 6 exams. So come September, the children might be behind in schooling and automatically promoted, but hey, at least they'll have clean hands. Ultimately, what I'm trying to say is that in the desperate need to return to normal, we are neglecting the fact that normal was actually, pretty dysfunctional. Think about it. The ministry deems it an accomplishment when over 50% of children pass their exams. No, not excel with distinction, just pass, meaning that we still have half a student population who the system has failed, because they have absolutely no idea what they were taught. The elitism in schools is completely obvious. That's why we're so impressed when a student from a poor family excels in CXC, because deep down we know that the system is rigged against them. The list of problems in education goes on, but the important thing to take away from this is that with all the children already home and people desperate for better, the government is missing an excellent chance to reform education in a way that prepares our Guyanese children to succeed in the modern world. Because if you ask me, running back to the same dysfunctional system when you have a chance to change is pretty stupid. Hey Guyanese business people, are you looking for a great way to advertise your business? Search no more. Join one of the fastest growing business directories in Guyana. Register your business on snap.gy and get access to more eyeballs. And wait for the best part, it's absolutely free. Get your business listed today on snap.gy. Moving on to our Uncut News Viewers Poll question of the day. Every day we pose a question about current events in the nation, the region, the diaspora, and how you feel it relates to us. So you give your responses in the comments, and we'll read the best ones in the following episode. Yesterday's question was, what should the government do to help small businesses and other flood victims? Darky North said, the government should give relief to the people because lots of people lost property, and the persons in charge are just picking and choosing who to visit and give relief to. They can give cash or even vouchers to individual farmers. Shabanae Griffith said the government should have an official website for farmers and producers so they can go to in order to file claims. They should set up disaster relief funds specifically for agriculture, because agriculture is an important industry in any country. The money from the funds can go towards rebuilding and gaining new livestock and crops, as well as purchasing flood-resistant materials. Literally, just take what other nations already have and apply it where needed. Absolutely, I agree with you fully. And finally, Leah Cole said, if the government is not willing to ask the international community for assistance during this unprecedented climate catastrophe, then there needs to be small interest-free loans available for farmers, miners, etc. to rebuild their lives. Persons in the diaspora, including myself, have offered to help some farmers, but the Ministry of Agriculture and GLDA choose to blow me off. Can't force them to accept help. Oh well, I guess St. Vincent is not too proud to accept help. Well, you already heard what I said yesterday, Leah, about this government, so, unsurprising to say the least. So, for tonight's question, alcohol is easily found in literally every corner of this nation. But with the shocking frequency of alcohol-related conflicts and road accidents in Guyana, should the government increase penalties for felonies and other serious crimes committed while under the influence of alcohol? Think about that question and tell us in the comments below. If your response is good enough, we just might feature it in our next episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for tonight. Check us out tomorrow for another. Until then, I'm Rico Bullford saying good night, folks. Hey, Uncut News viewers, thanks for watching. You can subscribe by clicking on this button over here, or click over there for more news. You can also drop a comment to let me know if you've made it to the end of the video. Goodbye for now.